Στο σημερινό Sportal Guest έχουμε έναν ιδιαίτερο καλεσμένο και θρύλο του ευρωπαϊκού μπάσκετ, τον Τζέιμς Γκιστ. Okay, so these days I've seen a lot of videos of you. And one question, have you ever apologized to Karl-Heinz? Because the kicks he got from you, I mean, in every single match.
No, it wasn't every match. I mean, in the video you can see I said it, I apologized immediately. I did not plan to hit him in the face, man. It was definitely not planned, but I felt bad, you know. Mm-hmm. I felt bad, you know. It was like an insult to injury, you know, because we were winning. It was a big play. And then the way that happened, you know, I apologized immediately, man. Kyle, that's like a brother to me, so it would never be any disrespect between me and him.
Okay, so we're good. Okay, did you see the Final Four in Abu Dhabi?
I did.
Did you expect the Greek teams, both of them, Panathinaikos and Olympiakos, to play the way they played?
What, in the second game? I mean, the energy just wasn't going to be the same no matter how you look at it. Both teams had their aspirations to play in the finals. You know, everybody, you know, when you make it that far, it's only one goal to play in the final. And when you don't make the final, it's hard to, you know, find the energy and the will to fight and win, even though it is a game against your eternal rivals. Everybody, you know, you understand it. Mm-hmm. But I did see the game. It didn't hold a lot of weight, except for saying, hey, we won or we lost in Abu Dhabi. Okay, but nobody got a trophy for that. They both made the Final Four.
It was the Panathinaikos that you know.
Was it the Panathinaikos that I know?
Yes. I mean,
they went to back-to-back Final Fours. That was one thing that I was never able to accomplish while I was at Panathinaikos during my tenure. So for them, that was a huge accomplishment. You know, the year before they won the EuroLeague, which was huge, being able to raise a 7-star. And then to come back, you know, the next year and go back to the Final Four again, that's a major accomplishment. So, I mean, that's huge. Any fan, anybody of basketball, you respect that. You know, you walk out of the season with your head held high.
The fact that you didn't go to the Final Four with Panathinaikos was, or still is, an open one for you.
Of course. You know, we had a lot of great teams. That definitely had the opportunity and the chance to make it. You know, things happen in the game of basketball that you can't really control. Unfortunately, you know, a few of those times that we had an opportunity to make the Final Four, we fell short. You know, but against great competition, you know, against very, very good competition. One year they won, Madrid won the EuroLeague, and another year Fenerbahce won the EuroLeague. So it wasn't like, you know, we lost to bad teams. We lost to some really good competition, yes. And unfortunately we weren't able to get over that mountaintop.
Mm-hmm. I know that Mike James is a very great friend of yours, and the truth is that he came closer this time to winning his first title with EuroLeague. I want your comment on that, and if you guys talked before or after the game.
I mean, we talk all the time. That's my brother, man, Mike James. We're connected for life. And I know that, you know, he's a fighter, man. He's a warrior when it comes to the game of basketball. He wants to win. And that's an accomplishment that, you know, he's been fighting for his entire career now. You know, since he's been in the EuroLeague, he's managed to get to the Final Four a couple of times now, getting a taste of that championship glory. I know it left a salty taste in his mouth, but at the same time, he's one of those guys that's going to take that, you know, go into the off season, work harder to get back there and try to reach that plateau next year. So he's one guy that's never going to give up, never going to quit.
I would like to move on to another friend of yours, with whom you will allow me to say that you were one of the greatest duos in the EuroLeague. I'm talking about Nikolathis. He was not in the top 25 players of the EuroLeague. How did you expect this?
I mean, you know, a lot of people didn't make it. They probably should have made it. And a lot of people made it that other people might feel like probably didn't deserve to be on it. So it's not something that you just have any kind of ill feeling about. The work is in the books, you know. Nick is the leading all-time assist to EuroLeague. So regardless if he's top 25 or not, or whatever, you know, the ratings say, you look in the history books, he's number one. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing that's going to come in front of that. He's still playing right now, so he's still setting that bar high. And it's been a lot of great guards that have played the game that had not been able to accomplish that. So, I mean, people can say what they want. The fans, you know, the real basketball players, the people that understand, they know. They know.
Okay. Chapter Panathinaikos. Do you think your transfer to Panathinaikos at that time was reminiscent of maybe Luka Doncic in NBA? Because it was the biggest trade in Europe and in EuroLeague that time.
I mean, it was different. It was the only trade. You know, you can say it's the biggest trade, but it was the only trade. Nobody had ever gotten traded, let's say, player for player in the situation that I did coming from Panathinaikos, coming from Malaga to Panathinaikos. With Luka, it was definitely a shock to the NBA. You're not used to seeing franchise players getting put on the trade block, but it is a business, and trades happen all the time in the NBA. Whatever Luka does with this, you know, this time in LA, I wish him a lot of luck. You know, he's a great player, and he's coming back, you know, from a big offseason, I believe. So it's not the same, man. It's not the same. And I won a championship that year. I won a championship. We won a championship that year. The Lakers ain't win no championship this season, so I'm gonna stand on that.
Okay. You were one of the club's most beloved players, and you still. And before you answer, I'll tell you that I recently saw a fan jersey in Oaka. Did you expect to receive this kind of love? You know, kids with your name on Oaka after all this time? It's crazy.
No, but at the end of the day, I was just always one of those players that played with a lot of energy and a lot of heart. And then clubs like Panathinaikos are organizations that have a huge fan base and a huge following. A lot of times what those fans want from their players is just to play with that heart and the passion that they have, you know. A lot of times these fans, they love the game more than we do. They just can't play it. You know, this is why they're so crazy about it. You know, they're just so crazy about it. So when you have players that come out and they feel like you're connected with them, you become a fan favorite. So I feel like that's just something that I've always been on every team I've played for, is just that energy guy, the guy that plays with heart. It didn't matter about the name on the back or the front. You know, I wanted to play to win, and everybody was always respected, you know, my game for that.
Okay, I want to show you a photo. And I want to comment. I want your comment on this. Because we haven't seen anything like this.
Right. Yeah. So that moment was crazy, man. That moment was crazy because it was after I made a big block against AC Law. He was going for a full court layup at the end of the quarter, I think it was. And I was guarding him, chased him down, went for the block, made a good play. And you know, when I ran into the advertisement thing, as I was standing up, the president was yelling at me, and I didn't even realize he was there. You know, I didn't realize he was there, but I was so hyped that I got the block, and it was like he's yelling at me, like, you're not just going to yell at me, I'm going to yell back. Like, we're going to have this moment right now, and it turned out to be a picture, and everybody blew it up. But in that moment, I didn't even know he was right there. Everybody after the game was like, you and the president had a moment, huh? And even then, it didn't register. I didn't know, because it just happened. Got the block. I was hyped. We screamed. I went back into the game. And afterwards, everybody was talking about it. So, I mean, it ended up being something big. But, I mean, it's just that passion. You know, that's what I played with. That's what our connection was with me and Giannakopulos, man. We had that fire. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to remind you one of Dimήτρης Γιαννακόπουλος' comments upon your departure. Since 2012, when I took over, this person has been my favorite, both on and off the court. Why do you think you were Dimήτρης Γιαννακόπουλos' favorite player?
Like I said, man, we were like-minded when it came to certain things, especially when it came to Panathinaikos. As a family, he knows how I feel about my family and how, you know, that's the most important thing to me. Same for him. You know, Giannakopulos, he's crazy about his family, and Panathinaikos is a part of his family. That is him. You know, if you were to cut him, he's going to bleed green and white. You know, that's just what it is. And we share that same passion. We share that same characteristic when it comes to life, when it comes to the game. And so with that, I think that's kind of where we connected. Our families, you know, we're forever tied together. We saw our kids grow up. Yes. There's just so much that's connected there. So I don't know his personal feeling, but you read his words. And so for him to say that, that's where it resonates with me.
You did incredibly impressive things on the court. Coaches have a system called Τζέιμς Γκιστ. Do you see players have the same passion and fire as you had? Or you think that the generation you were from was the one that did the things that can hardly be repeated?
The game of basketball is forever evolving. So you're never going to see the same style of play, per se. You'll see things that show, images and things that remind you of certain styles of play in certain time periods. But in general, you're never really going to see the same, type of style, especially when it comes to Panathinaikos and the things that I was able to do. I'm not, one person that nobody else could do the things that I could do. It was many people that could do the athletic stuff that I was able to do, the energy things that I was able to do. And so I don't ever look at it like that. I've never looked at it like that. I've never compared myself to the rest. I've always looked at myself as just one, and it's only one James. It's only one James.
I agree. Kendrick Nunn, Matthias Lesor, TJ Shorts, and now Rison Holmes. How do you see these additions?
Those are big moves in the offseason. Mm-hmm. Those are huge moves in the offseason. It'd be interesting to see how everything plans out. The EuroLeague over the past 2-3 years has been at the highest level of competition that I've seen. In the years that I played 13 years EuroLeague, and just the last few years that I was there, that's when they started the round robin tournament where everybody played everybody. Before, it was a group phase. In the group phase, teams could hide. Now, teams can't hide. Everybody plays everybody. You find out who the best players are, who the best teams are. And so the last 2-3 years have shown that the competition of the EuroLeague is extremely high. And so it's hard to just say, what is going to happen in the beginning of the season. It's so long. If
you could add one player to Panathinaikos, which player would it be? You can move it from NBA.
If I could add one player?
Yes. You can bring one from the NBA or EuroLeague, I don't know, transfer to make a trade to Panathinaikos.
Transfer? But they got to be active. They can't be retired, huh?
We can do that. It's work, of course. Okay. You will say yourself.
So
okay, I know.
Me. I'm gonna say me.
James Ggist. Oh my God.
I'm always gonna bet on myself, man. I'm always gonna bet on myself. Even though I'm retired as a player, I still have gas in the tank to play. I have ambition and aspirations to be a coach now. But to answer your question, if I was to recommend anybody to be on Panathinaikos bench, it would be me.
Okay, not retired players, please.
Not retired players.
Yes.
All right. So active players, who would I like to see at Panathinaikos? You got a lot of guards right now. So it's not a lot of room in the point guard, 2-guard position. I would say as a big.
You can say, can I help?
Go ahead.
Okay, you can say Jokic because Δημήτρη Γιαννακόπουλο really want him. So you can say that.
I could say Jokic. But Jokic, I want to see Jokic in Serbia, man. I don't want to see Jokic in Greece. I want to see, bring Giannis, man. Bring Giannis.
Bring Giannis.
Suit up and power.
Okay.
Yeah, bring Giannis.
Okay.
That's what I would say, bring Giannis. You want to bring somebody, bring Giannis.
Bring Giannis, okay. I'm very happy to hear that you are a coach because I personally think it was a natural progression. Okay. So is there any former player that you wonder why they are not coaches?
Somebody who I haven't talked to in a little while, but I haven't heard his name much, would probably be Rocco Ukic, man. Rocco Ukic, who I played with a couple of years in Panathinaikos, I played 1 year in Fenerbahce with. He was a point guard, Croatian. He's like a basketball savant when it comes to just knowing the game, the history of the game, everything about the game. He was just one of those people that he could really think it. He was real cerebral. And so for me, I would say if he had I don't think he has the patience, but if he had the ambition and the aspiration to want to do it, I think he could be a coach, man. It's like, why wouldn't you be a coach? Because he's so smart. Though. What he knows about the game, like you can't to get that knowledge and to keep that knowledge, you got to give that back.
Do you teach the younger generation what you did on the courts?
Yeah. Anytime I get an opportunity to reach out to this next generation of players is just a way for me to give back in some shape or form. You know, I did 16 years professionally. I played 4 years at college. I got drafted to the NBA, played for the San Antonio Spurs. I went to a top high school in America. Not too many kids get a chance to be able to do that. And so for the kids that are actually coming up and have any kind of dream of going to the next level or going to high school, playing at a top school, going to a college, choosing an agent now, because these kids in college are getting paid now in America. All of that stuff, you know, I have a blueprint. Now, I went through it. You know, I was kind of like a guinea pig. I was first generation of my family. My parents, everybody in my family was military, so I was the first one to actually do the basketball route and actually make it that far and do what I did. So anytime I get a chance to work with kids, anytime I get a chance to work with college athletes or even pro athletes, you know, I tell them my story, the things that I learned through trial and error. What works, what doesn't work, what'll help you, you know, anything in that nature. So that's just something that I have and something that I've been able to do.
Do you show them your videos? They must be impressed.
I just let them know that you can find any video you want online. Again, I'm not one of those players or type of people that brags and boasts about things I've done in my career or my life. But it's in the books, it's in the history, you know, it can't be erased. So
okay, I will come to show them. I'll come to show them what you did. I'll come, okay.
I love it. Every now and then, you know, I get a chance to humble them. I get a chance to humble them and play because they think because I'm older, I'm not playing anymore. They're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, I can still play. That's the funny thing.
Okay, I want you to tell me what you see different as a coach than when you were a player.
Now I'm on the other side. You know, what's crazy is yesterday I did my first scouting event where I went to go see some players play that were trying to recruit for high school. They're in the 8th grade. Next year they'll be going to high school. And so we're looking at some players. And so now it was the first time I was able to sit and watch and, you know, assess and give my own opinion and rate players, because before I was the player on the court and the coaches were the ones that are around looking and saying, hey, we need this player, we want this player. So now I'm doing it from my point of view. And so being on that side, you know, you really start to notice a lot of things that as a player, it kind of went over your head. But as a coach, you're like, I don't like that, or I do like that, or that stands out. You know, things that, you know, players that make winning plays, sometimes it's not all about just making, you know, the shot. Yeah, the name of the game is a first to one, so you want to put the ball in the basket, but you're trying to put a team together, you know? So it's like a puzzle. You're trying to put puzzle pieces and see where they fit and how it works. And so now being on that side of it, I love it. I love it. I feel like I'm in my element.
Okay, now that you are a coach, would you pick Τζέιμς Γκιστ as a player?
Would I pick Τζέιμς Γκιστ as a player?
Yes, you're a coach and you see Τζέιμς Γκιστ.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
No question.
Okay, you have stated that the coach who inspired you the most was Argyris Pedulakis. Right?
Yeah.
What do you remember?
At the professional level.
Yes. What do you remember about him? Something, you know, that stands out from him.
Just how intense he was, man. He was a really intense guy. You know, he understood the human psychology. He understood everything about the game. He understood what you could do really well. He understood what you couldn't do really well. And he would tell you. He'll tell you, you're really good at this, you're not really good at this. And he would put restrictions and boundaries around players because he knew that if you played and did the things that you did really well, it was going to be beneficial to the team, whether you agree with it or not. But for him, he was able to, like, slow the game down for me and help me understand, you know, how to impact the game in a positive way. And understanding that, you know, I got to give credit to him for being able to do that. Not many coaches were able to, get through in that aspect, you could say. But he was one that I give him credit for that.
Chapter Europe, is it closed for you? There's no way to come back even as a coach?
Oh, no, it's not closed at all. I love Europe. I love Greece, you know, living there for as long as I did, 7 years. I see myself buying a home at some point, either in Greece and Spain, somewhere, you know, being in Europe. And when it comes to coaching, you know, right now I'm just starting my journey, but I don't see a ceiling to where it could lead me to. You know, my goal right now is to learn as much as I can, and then when I'm ready, I want to get to the highest point that I can. Now, if that's to be the top coach in high school, then so be it. If that's the top coach in college in the NCAA, and I can win an NCAA tournament, then cool. If it's NBA, EuroLeague, I'm looking to just, you know, go to the highest mark that I can reach. As a player, I did it. I won as a player, and now, you know, my goal is to try to do that as a coach and teach a team how to win. I think that'll be my biggest thing. And once I teach a team how to win, I want to see how many times I can do it.
Okay. If you were a coach in EuroLeague, which team would you like to take on?
You're a coach in EuroLeague. What team would I like to take on? Mm-hmm. A team where I have job security, where I don't have to worry about getting fired after 3 games. If I have security in a job and I know that, you know, I'm guaranteed this year to work with a team to build, whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, you know, you give me time to be able to work and mold it. That would be the team that I would consider, you know. You have both sides of the spectrum with that. Some teams, they have patience, and some teams, they don't.
Okay, this was very diplomatic. You didn't answer. I will insist. I want a name.
I don't know, man. I never gave it a thought. If I gave you a name right now, I'd be lying. If I gave you a name right now, I'd be lying.
Okay. Have you regretted anything in your career?
No regrets.
No regrets. I like
no
this.
Regrets. I feel like everything that I did and everything that I experienced has now put me in position to be able to go forth and now be a coach. I feel like everything that I did in my career as a basketball player, I had to go through. Whether it was good, bad, ugly, didn't matter. I feel like I had to go through that experience because now I have that experience and knowledge to be able to give players.
Okay, if you could play one game again, which game would it be?
Game 4, Waka against Barcelona, man.
Oh.
Our first year, we lost to them, and it was 30,000 people in Waka. It was 30,000 people in Waka. I never played in an arena in that atmosphere like that in my life. And even talking about it now, you know, like the hair stands up on your neck. It's like, I wish we could have closed it out in that game because as a team, you know, that was the first year that Obradovic had left. All the players had left. I think Diamantidis and Chacharis were the only returning players. Like, nobody had high aspirations for us as a team. You know, had we won or lost, nobody said anything. But when we made it that far, it was like we gave hope when nobody thought they had it. And we believed in it. And even though we went on that year to win the Greek League title, which was good, we beat Olympiacos, who won the EuroLeague. We beat them 3-0. That game right there, if we won against Barcelona, the crazy thing is we beat Madrid in the regular season that year, and we beat Olympiacos that year. So that, for me, that first time getting a taste of the EuroLeague playoffs and a chance to possibly make the Final Four, 1,000%, I feel like that was the championship that we would have had a chance to raise the 7th star.
Okay.
More than any other chance that I had.
Mm-hmm. Who was your favorite teammate and who was your toughest opponent?
Favorite teammate? I got a lot of favorite teammates. I don't have just one. You know, I was that glue guy in the locker room. I was the guy that everybody gravitated towards. Family dinners, cookouts, barbecues, all that stuff was at my house. You know, I was the guy in the locker room that, you know, I needed to be in the locker room. I was the guy that everybody wanted in the locker room. So I didn't have like one specific teammate that was just my favorite. I had a lot of great teams, a lot of great teammates. There were a lot of great players. 16 years is hard to name just one. Toughest matchup. To this day, I always say Mirza Teletovic. When he played with Baskonia. I was in Partizan. I played against him 1 year, and then when I was in Fenerbahce, I played against him. By far, my toughest matchup because he was just as athletic, just as strong. And he could shoot, man. He could shoot from anywhere. Like a lot of people, you talk about Steph Curry and Dame Lillard, like you have to guard them as soon as they cross over half court. Like you had to know where Teletovic was at all times of the game, and that was my matchup. He played the 4. Like I had to guard him and I had to do what I could do offensively. So that was like, it was difficult playing against Thelatevi.
Okay. I know that you really wanted to compete to Eurobasket. Is this true? That you really want to play? Okay. Yeah. How do you see the organization this year? There are your favorites. You have your favorites.
In the whole Eurobasket competition?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I've been a fan of it for years, so I've always watched France. I've always watched Greece. I've always watched Spain, Lithuania. You know, these countries. Germany's been doing well the last few years. Yeah, I've always said Europe's been catching up, man. Europe is not only caught up, I think that they're here, you know. They're at the door. They're knocking, and they're not waiting for somebody to open it. So I'm just a fan of Eurobasket and the European basketball in general.
If you had the chance, because I know that back then you didn't have the chance to play to the Eurobasket, but now the things are different now. So if you had the chance, would you play in the Eurobasket? Do you still want this?
100%. 100%. No question.
Okay. Coach Spanoulis, how do you see him in the Greek national team and in Monaco as a coach?
I like seeing him as a coach. Even since when he came on the scene at Peristeri, I like seeing him as a coach. You know, when you have these players who were just like at the top when they were playing, and they have the ability to teach the game, you know, you can't replace that. You can't replace that. You know, Spanoulis is one of the best players to ever play, you know, the game in the European basketball competition with EuroLeague and even representing, you know, the country of Greece on the Eurobasket scene. Like, he is one of those players that will forever be in the history books, like I keep saying. So him as a coach, I like it. I love it. I love seeing it. I love seeing him being able to make it to the EuroLeague championship. You know, his first year at Monaco. That's dope. You know, you see Childish Jasikevic, he did it. He's done it. He's been to multiple Final Fours and multiple championships. He finally got one. But his first year at Žalgiris, he was able to do it. He was another great player. You know, so I love seeing players that I competed against, players that I have a high respect for, transition into coaching, and you see the same thing. I love that.
Okay. If the EuroLeague is held in Oaxaca this year, is there a chance we can see you?
You never know what the future holds. I would hope so. It is a dream of mine to come back to Oaxaca, see a game, and just watch from the stands, man. I want to watch it from gate 13. You know, like that would just be something big for me, because I've always, every time I walked in the gym, I was playing. You know, I was playing, or when I did see any other games there, it wasn't Panathinaikos playing. So to be able to go and just, you know, feel the atmosphere, interact with the fans that show so much love for so long, I would love to be able to come back, you know, and just experience that. If it was for the Final Four, cool. If it was for anything else, I mean, I would just love to just come back and get that experience.
You never know what future brings. James, thank you so much for your time, first of all, and for accepting my invitation to come to tonight, and we get to talk first time. That's huge for me.
No problem, no problem. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much.
Glad to be able to come on and talk.
Thank you so much.
You too. Enjoy that weather. Y'all have a good time, and thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.